Da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum. What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Phase 10 from Mattel Games. This is for 2 to 6 players, ages 7 plus, so it'll take about 30 to 45 minutes to play. And in Phase 10, this is a simple old-time card game where you're going to be racing to get to 10 phases in which you're going to be trying to get sets of numbers and runs of numbers and collecting different colors of numbers and all sorts of various different things like that. Does the game stand the test of time? I don't know. Let's open it up and I'll tell you. Alright, then we're going to take a look and we'll show you again inside of Phase 10. First and foremost, we got our handy dandy little rule sheet. It is about one page, double-sided, no text. Well, there's text, but no color, no pictures. It is still a well-done rule booklet. It'll be up and running in no time at all. Phase 10 is very, very simple. You're going to be racing to complete 10 phases. And the phases are going to have things like getting sets, getting runs, which is kind of like a straight, getting potentially colors at the end, and then getting sets and runs and different combinations. So you're going to be racing up this ladder, so to speak. Progressive difficulty, mostly, so that you can win the game. So, let's go over the cards. You're going to have pretty simple cards. They're going to be numbers 1 through 12. You'll have a couple wild cards in there, which will act, as you guessed it, as wilds. You're going to have skip cards, which you'll be able to play on other players and skip them. And there's going to be various different colors. So when you first start the game, each player is going to get 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Congratulations, I can count. Then there's going to be one card in the discard pile, and one person is going to go first. So they're going to be trying to complete whatever their phase is. And you will always start on the first phase. So on this one, we would need 2 sets of 3. So let's take a look at the cards we've got. We got 1, 2, 4, 10, wild. Wow, we do not have the best hand for this particular hand. So we do have 2 10s, though, which is great. We can't really use that 3 right now. So it's our turn. We have 2 options. We can either draw the top card here, or we can draw the top card in the discard pile. In this example, we're going to draw the top card here, which is a 12, which is actually still completely useless to us. So we would then discard, and then our turn would be over. We'd be on our merry way, and let's just pretend it gets back to us. And this 8 is on top, and we're looking at that 8, and we're like, yeah, we could definitely use that 8 right there, because that would give us 2 8s. So boom shakalaka. We would pick up that 8, and then we are going to be forced to discard one more card, and we'll get rid of a 1. And so now we would be looking for an 8, a 10, or a wild. Obviously, no one's going to discard a wild. Oh, so let's just say our next turn we got lucky enough, and a 10 is played down there. So what we would do, or we drew a 10, I should say, from the top pile right there, is we would play down our first phase, which would be a set of 3s and a set of 10s. So we still have 5 cards. We're still going to discard one of these cards. But now it is our goal to go out as quick as possible. Now, go out means that you get rid of all your cards. If you can get rid of all your cards, you're going to go out. And if other players have not completed their phase, then they are going to be stuck on the same phase. Whereas you are now on the next phase no matter what happens. Even if you get stuck with all these cards in your hands, you're still going to be on phase 2 next time. So how do you get rid of your cards? Well, you're going to look around the board. So let's just say that this guy over here had, 3 4s and 3 6s. He'd say, I can play my 4 over here. And then you would still have to discard one more. And you're going to continue going until you can get rid of all your cards. So let's go over the 10 different phases real quick. So the first one, 2 sets of 3. You see it right here. We got 3 10s, we got 3 8s, but they can be 3 of any number. 1 set of 3 and 1 run of 4 is the next phase. And that's going to be 1 2 3 4, 4 5 6 7, 8 9 10 11. Any straight of 4. So 1 set of 4, 1 run of 4, 1 run of 7, 1 run of 8, 1 run of 9. And yes, if you're doing the math at home, if you get 1 run of 9, you're essentially almost completely done. Like you for all intents and purposes, are just about out. 2 sets of 4, 7 cards of 1 color, 1 set of 5, 1 set of 2, 1 set of 5, 1 set of 3, and whoever completes the final phase first is going to be the winner of the game. Now, if there is a tie, there is a scoring system in place. So whatever cards are left in your hand at the end of the game, you're going to score points from. So I believe that they're 1 through 9, you're going to get 5 points. If they're 10 through 12, you'll get 10 points apiece. It's 15 for skips, and then 25 for wilds. I forgot to mention skips. Skips you're going to play down, and you can skip other players. And that, in a nutshell, is how Phase 10 is played. Pretty simple game. Oh, if they're in the result of a tiebreaker, a tie at the end of the game, whoever has the least amount of points and completed Phase 10 at the end of the game is going to be the winner. So that, in a nutshell, is how Phase 10 is played. Alright then, Phase 10 from Mattel Games, War My Final Thoughts, screw the pros and screw the cons. First, on the con side, the game is not going to be for everybody, for a variety of different reasons. First and foremost, this is an old-style, non-gamery game. It's very, very luck-driven. There's a skip card in it, which is incredibly annoying, especially in like a 5 or 6 player game. You know, people can be out on like the second or third turn and just be out, and you're just like, oh, well, I guess my turn's over. You have to keep score, but the scoring is really kind of arbitrary because the scoring only comes into play if 2 people tie for Phase 10 at the end, but you're keeping track of everyone's score the entire game, which is, you know, kind of annoying. And it's just not a game that I recommend going out to get if you don't already have it. You know, this is not something you're going to play on game night. And that's pretty much it. You should know what you're getting with Phase 10. Incredibly simple mechanics, incredibly old-style game. But moving on to the pros, this game had a soft spot in my heart. I grew up playing this game with my grandmother and that side of my family, and I went back and revisited it. Did it live up to the expectations that I had of it being just a god-awful pile of garbage? No, it didn't. It's actually kind of fun, and I'm actually going to keep it to play with my kids in my class when they get a little bit of, when I'm in the older class where my son gets older, because it is still fun. It's still an enjoyable, very simple game. And I feel like it kind of streamlines the ages. It brings together different ages, because I know I've tried to get my grandmother to play numerous different kinds of games. She said no part of it. No part of it. She doesn't want to learn anything new. Phase 10, I bust this out, and she's down for it. She'll put on her glasses, put it in her teeth, and we'll have a fun game of Phase 10. Is it a great game? No. But is it a terrible game? No, it's not. And honestly, for Mattel Games, you kind of expect terrible. So Phase 10, you know, is it one you should go look for? No. But if you still have it, give it a try. Give it a whirl again and make your own decision. But me personally, this is one that I'm probably going to keep around just because it's so small, it's so compact, it plays up to 6 players. And one more thing that I do like about this game that I forgot to mention here is that I find it interesting how players are at different levels. That's one thing that I like about this. Whereas you might be at a really difficult, really high level, but somebody else might be down here, and it's kind of got a little bit of a catch-up AI, because they can, you know, they're going to be able to complete their thing generally a lot easier than you are. Granted, it's very luck-based, but still, so that kind of gives them just like that oof, like, oh, I'm down 3 levels, but I just completed this one, so maybe I can catch up, and that is exciting, that's fun, and so I do enjoy that. But overall, Phase 10, yeah, it's okay. So that's Phase 10 from Mattel Games. If you enjoyed what I'm doing with the thing, with the new camera, let me know. And also, if you enjoyed the subscribe button, it's the first one on the new camera, getting used to it, getting acclimated to it. So let me know in the comments below, does this look alright? Is this cool? And if not, as always,